Hey, welcome back, travelers. Today we're going to take you somewhere where you can see into 3 states at the same time, or stand in one spot, but be in 3 states at one time. We're at
Cumberland Gap National Park.
That's right, and we want you to go with us beyond the exit.
We are at Kentucky Splash Park in Williamsburg, Kentucky. One of our favorite places to stay in the wintertime. As you can see, there aren't a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's really great during the wintertime because it's quiet. Now, Williamsburg is a great place to be if you want to check out all of southeastern Kentucky. But today we were headed over to Cumberland Gap National Park.
And we started the day's events at
The Visitor Center.
which was a great place to learn more about the Native American history of the area, all the way through Daniel Boone and blazing the Wilderness Trail, and which, of course,
Brought about westward migration.
yeah.
Our first stop of the day was the Tri-State Peak, and it's just here off the Wilderness Road. Now, we parked in the Thomas Walker parking area and walked up to this.
The Tri-State Peak is about 2.5 miles, and honestly, it was moderately challenging.
Now, you've got to remember when you take trails like this that you need to be carrying water.
As you can see, he's not.
I do have water right in my hand.
Oh, did you have
Yeah.
water?
I did, I saw it.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
I do
does
have water in there.
Ah.
All right, guys, so what you're looking at here is a little bit of a side jog that we took off the main Wilderness Road.
Recommended by just another hiker that we
Yeah.
met on the trail.
Yeah.
So we get about halfway down this trail, this side jog we took, and I started getting nervous.
Yeah, both of us were getting a little weirded out by it. It was overgrown. It looked like nobody had been down it for a while.
We didn't know the lady who had recommended it. We were a little nervous.
Yeah, we were a little bit nervous. You never know about these things. You got somebody you don't know. They're the only one on the trail. Is there somebody waiting for you down the trail where nobody goes? Maybe we're a little paranoid.
But these are kind of the times we're living in. I hate to be that
Yeah.
way, but it's always better to be safe
And sorry.
It's good to always remember, if you're going to be out hiking and enjoying these kinds of adventures, someone needs to know where you are.
Yeah.
Someone else in the family, someone who is not with you,
Yeah.
needs to know where to find you if something does happen.
Cell service is kind of sketchy up in these areas. Get a hold of somebody ahead of time while you still got cell service and then let them know. And that way, if 2 hours goes by and they haven't heard from you, they start wondering. At least somebody knows. So back on the main trail, this is a landmark that was placed by the Daughters of the American Revolution.
So the markers here to commemorate Daniel Boone's role in blazing the Wilderness Trail.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, this was a beautiful day. You can see the sun is shining. It was warm. And the fall foliage. Did I say that right? Foliage?
Foliage.
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 Yeah, that sounds right.
The leaves were beautiful.
Gorgeous and slippery. You had to watch your footing on this. It's a good idea to have good hiking boots on stuff like this too.
Which we did not.
No,
So
we just had tennis shoes on.
yeah.
And we were looking for wildlife everywhere, but we didn't see a whole lot. But we also didn't see a lot of people. There was really only one crew that we ran into on this trail.
Yeah, there was a youth group that started the trail right before us.
Right,
When we got
yeah.
there, and it was a large group.
Yeah, you even offered them a map.
Yeah.
That we picked up at the visitor center, but they were like, no, we've got it, you
Yeah.
know. As you're going up the trail, you're going to notice a side jog. It runs over 4 foot.
Now, if you've ever taken this hiking trail and you've gone out and explored Fort Hood, please put it in the comments. We want to know what you saw.
Now, this is one of our first views as we're on the last stretch coming up to the Pinnacle. You're looking out actually over Cumberland Gap, Tennessee right here.
A little closer in, and you can actually see the cars out there.
Now, those of you that are familiar with it, there's a set of tunnels that were punched through the mountain to help alleviate all the traffic over the top of it.
And here we are at the end of the hiking trail.
Yep. We're at the summit. This is the spot. If you stand on that medallion, that little coin, you're in 3 states at one time: Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee.
Yes.
And then there's little plaques where you can stand in front of them and know that you're specifically looking at that state. Here's Middlesboro on the Kentucky side.
Back on the trail. So heading up to Tri-State Peak, it was mostly uphill. Heading back, of course, it was downhill. So it was pretty wet. We'd had some rain beforehand. And so those leaves got kind of slippery.
We were kind of wishing for the hiking boots that we mentioned earlier. Well, our next stop is the Pinnacle Overlook,
which is a much easier trail. It's like 2/10 of a mile, mostly level. Very, very easy.
Okay, the road that leads up to Pinnacle Overlook is narrow and twisty. And if you make it to this sign, you need to realize that if you've got a long vehicle or a camper, you'd better stop. Because if you make it past this sign, you may not have a place to turn around at, and you'll wish you had.
Yeah, they're not trying to rob you of some great fun adventure.
And you'll see why as you look at these pictures.
You will also notice there are very, very few
no guardrails.
Yeah. That was it right there. You just saw
there must have been a scarcity on iron in this area, because I mean, there is no metal on the sides of these roads.
But let's be honest, you shouldn't be driving so fast that you need them, first of all, and secondly, it's so much more beautiful without them.
Here's another tip: there are usually hikers along the side of this road at times. That is a pretty good little drop right there. Yeah. And do you see how far the truck is swinging over? We were in our full-size pickup. So as you get to the pinnacle, you can go up to the point where soldiers during the Civil War used to encamp. It kind of looks off the top of the mountain. Well, the historical signage around the park is really good and kind of gives a background detail on everything that's happened within the Cumberland Gap area. And even though you can kind of see the fall turn that we're admiring here, it doesn't matter whether it's spring or fall. It's a wonderful place to visit. Then you walk down to what is the best view, and this is the true Pinnacle Overlook. From here, you can see into 3 states. Right now, we're looking over at Harrogate, Virginia. We're standing in Kentucky. Then down below us is Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. If you get a chance to visit, it's a really quaint little town, and it's just the other side of the tunnels, which are a neat experience too. We also swung back around so that you could see Middlesboro, Kentucky, over on the far side. Here you can see the haze we were talking about over the whole area. There's also a very beautiful lake just over from where we were looking at Middlesboro. All in all, it was a really fun day. So as we were coming back down off the mountain, we had a little surprise. We finally saw some wildlife. Hey guys, we really enjoyed having you along for this video. It was a lot of fun to make. We hope you enjoyed it.
And we'd love for you to share any stories you might have about Cumberland Gap or any of the other trails that you may have hiked.
If you enjoyed this video, we'd love to have you like and subscribe to our channel. Hey, stick with us. We're going places.
Thanks so much for watching, and God bless.
Bye now.